the T. Trapping, we swear to God I could have been Freddie Gray. A Mike Brown getting down with a on me and a half a blaming by Sandra Bland. Listen, boy, you're challenging with the running man. I was challenging with a hand. What you see before you, what they told you from nothing, man. Grand hustle over everything. And hit the king like an 18-wheeler in and out.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Washington Redskins. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Set! Green, 39!
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. They had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback, because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side, complete. It's Hudson. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. They go play action here on 1st down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 61 yards.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number 1 in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, complete. It's Hudson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Yeah,
moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
This is Barkley, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Detroit! Detroit!
On third down, Barkley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And that is incomplete here.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And that's incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And Elliott puts this one through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Now let's go. Blue line it.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
All right, here we go. Green.
They'll set up to throw. He's got his man, Avant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. The numbers for him from a week ago, 25 carries, 61 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And that play is blown up. losing yardage back at the 35.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but, boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. Now back to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Now a play fake here on first down. They'll get this out to Barkley complete, and they'll get him down here at the 23. They'll wind up with 3 yards. Out of that, and it's second down. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. He'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year, and it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30, and they will take over at the 29. Yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Wide open receiver complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Gone!
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to go for a big into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chidobe with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
He'll look to throw.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, that they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Here we go. 319. 319.
And on the ground they go with the running back. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. Third down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Now it's Barkley. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll set up a throw, trying to lay one up deep. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. It's complete. It's Miller. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Open man is Miller. He's got it. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
No. Check. Patriot.
Looking to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Tight right. Set. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
This is taken at the 10. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
23 yards on the play.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to air one out. He's got it at the 15. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 56 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some...
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Saquon Barkley as the first half is winding down. And the Saints add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And they'll go on the ground. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints coming out now to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. Breaks through the contact. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus,
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Quick hitter here is complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now it's seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Dante Fowler in there to get him for a loss of 5. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of Central Casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
the speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
They're going to look to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. But throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll set up to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and lead the game out that way.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down.
One of the feature points of the end route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
3-19.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. He got 29 yards that time.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. In for the score. And the Redskins have made this a 1-score game. And a play fake down near the goal line here worked out well.
Anytime you can make them think that you're going to run the ball and go to that play-action pass, you see the end result, usually a touchdown.
Is that harder? Is the play fake harder to defend for the defense near the goal line or no? Because there's not as much room to work with?
It is harder because down near the goal line, you're thinking much more of a running play, especially if people run out big formations. So it is harder to defend.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some 1st downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things they consider safe.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a 1st down.
The toss out to Barkley. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they can't bring him down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. On the left side, it's complete. They're able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. He'll drop to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Redskins on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, here we go.
And Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, pick them up. And someone jumped.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90.
Now back to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down.
All right, here we go.
They'll set up a throw. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it, and